Hi, I'm Zohara, and this is the Souloist podcast. Conversations on soul, music, education, life, and many things in between. We live in difficult times. We live in very challenging times. In the last week or so, when coronavirus started to spread in the world, we found ourselves in a very different environment to what we knew. Most of us knew before. Everybody is going to experience the beginning stages of it in a different way. And I believe that what we are being called to do, following what we feel, is going to be different from one person to the other. I was called, pulled, forced, urged to create more and more circles around the world of people who I come into closer contact with. And I've decided to start with my Suzuki Tribe. Suzuki Music, Suzuki Talent Education, which is an amazing, beautiful, international world movement that encompasses education, music in all instruments, and the love for the human potential. Today I have done my first gathering, Suzuki gathering in Zoom. I called it Zoom with Zohara. So today we had Zoom with Zohara number 1 for Suzuki teachers. In the near future, really in the near future, I'm going to offer these Zoom calls, webinars, seminars to Suzuki parents, and it's going to expand. It's going to expand to women, to elders, to parents and children, and so on. Every day brings new ideas. Every day brings new possibilities. So I would like to share with you the highlights of what we had today in our first Zoom call with the Suzuki teachers. So first of all, I was so moved really to the depth of my heart to see a big group of teachers from all over the world. We had Australia, Singapore, Taiwan, Japan, Philippines. I think it was Philippines. I'm not 100% sure. I need to go through this. It's all very fresh in my mind. We just finished an hour ago. What else we had? We had Japan. We had Indonesia. We had Australia wide Australia, all over Australia. We had New Zealand. We had USA, from all different parts of USA, and I can't really recall the exact parts, but I know we had New York and we had lots of other places. And to my big surprise, we had Europe. I wasn't even planning or expecting to see teachers from Europe because it's in the middle of the night for you European teachers. But they were there from Holland, from Spain, from Oslo, from England, from Ireland. In the middle of the night, they woke up. They put an alarm clock to join us. And I was watching this circle of teachers thinking, oh, I am so blessed to be a part of this unique, amazing, loving, dedicated tribe. I invited the group of teachers to start by reflecting. Suzuki always urged us to reflect. He called us teachers to keep reflecting. He called parents to keep reflecting. So we started with reflection about how among the many roles and essences any of us has in our life, in one lifetime, there's one that called us to this gathering of today. Our role as Suzuki teachers. I invited the teachers to bring this role, this task, this essence to this gathering. To imagine how all of us, Suzuki teachers around the globe, sit in a circle around the fire, a virtual fire, and a fire that emanates love. This love is what ignited the fire and what is needed in order to keep it burning. We add the wood to the fire by keeping it alive, by adding our love. Dr. Shinichi Suzuki, our visionary and mentor, is holding the fire for us. When Moses went on the mountain and he watched the burning bush that was not consumed, keep this image in your heart. Like the bush was not consumed, like the fire kept going. That's the same with love. Dr. Suzuki entrusted us with where love is deep, much can be accomplished. Love is like this burning bush. The more love we give, the more we have. So we are being asked to add more wood to this fire of love. An old Aborigine wise woman once said, and I know that other sages said it too, there are only two things in life. There's love and there's fear. And all the other things come from them. There are things that come from love, and when they are not from love, they are from fear. So if you are familiar about the Suzuki Triangle has 3 points: teachers, parents, and children. And today we were called to look at our role of Suzuki teachers, and just for this instant, we were invited to arrange the triangle in a way that the teachers will be above. Will be above only because we want to put the spotlight on us teachers. So we teacher need to learn today new tricks, new techniques, to go beyond and in spite, and sometimes even against, what we thought or knew before. For instance, we did not encourage screens. I know that I have tried very laboriously to encourage children and parents to minimize screen times or try to control the time or to moderate the time. I never thought that screen is so important in order for child's development. So it was no screen or less screen. Screen was a mantra that actually repeated in order to try to avoid or minimize. And look at today. Today screens became the norm. They even became a necessity. Without screens, we cannot connect to each other. Without screens, we could not have our Zoom call today. In the coming days and weeks and month, I hope as little as possible time it will take, but we don't know. We will explore how we can still find a balance between using it for necessity and remembering that we shouldn't maybe stay too long there. But that will come in the future. Suzuki was called in the Japanese language sensei, Suzuki sensei. In free translation, the word sensei means he, or maybe she, who walked before. He who walked before. I got it. We teachers, we need all today to raise or to deepen our way of teaching and to become senseis, all of us. We can't wait until we develop enough years of experience. We need to walk our talk. We need to make sure that what we are asking our parents and families to do, we have to do it ourselves. When the rabbi from Lubavitch was dying, his students came to him and urged him to tell them what to do before he dies. Just the thought of losing him was painful and beyond any comprehension. And they urged him, Rabbi, told us how we're going to live. What are we going to do when you're not around? And he said, that's what I said. He said, when I die, each and one of you will become the rabbi from Lubavitch. When Carl Jung students came and asked him, please tell us how to help the world. The world is in such difficult place. Tell us what we can do in order to help the world, in order to save the world maybe. And Carl Jung said, you go home and do your own work. That's how you will save the world. So we know that we are being asked to take more out of our resources, to rely on our inner resources and our community in order to do the best we can in any given moment. And today we were mentioning a few tips that definitely in the time to come we will expand, we will deepen, we'll explore some more. The tips we were actually mentioning today was this. Number 1, say goodbye to perfectionism. We all like to wait until we are completely ready for something. So if it's being completely ready to come out with an idea or with a teaching or with taking any kind of leadership, we want to do the best we can and we want to bring it to the high standard. But now there's no time. There's no time because every day something new is happening. The time has on one way stopped, on the other way, on the other side, it is going so quickly that if we just wait for the right moment, we might never have it, because the right moment of today is different than the right moment of tomorrow. So if you are filled or expected or hoped or was dreaming to do something in your life, do it today. Why today? Because tomorrow you might have a new idea. You might be called to do another thing. So don't procrastinate because you don't want now to wait until you've got it perfect. It's perfect the way it's going to come through you. So number 1, say goodbye to perfectionism. Number 2, teachers, please remember to rest, to sleep, to meditate. Anything which gives you self-care. If it's your special kind of food, special diet, whatever you feel you can put under the label of self-care, please do it. Number 3, do not try to do all the new things that you are required to learn in one day. One step at a time. Does it sound familiar? One step at a time. That's how Dr. Suzuki wanted us to teach our students. And go at your own pace. At your own pace. Your pace might be very different than your colleague's pace. So, like Suzuki said, one step at a time in child's own pace. Same goes for us teachers. And parents too. One step at a time and go at your own pace. Number 4, find balance between being informed and being overwhelmed. And it's very different for each and one of us, the amount that we can grasp of being informed. When I say balance, I mean there's a fine balance actually. Like one who walks on a tight rope cannot afford losing the balance. Just a week or 2 weeks ago, who remembers now in these times, I watched someone, I forgot where it was, and it was someone who was walking on a tightrope above a volcano. Now, he could not afford losing his balance, completely not. But when we are trying to find balance between being informed and being overwhelmed, we might lose it. I was just sharing with the teachers today that I lost it yesterday. I was very busy preparing this Zoom and needing to get everything in time, because from the day that I conceived the idea of doing these Zoom gatherings until the gathering itself happened, maybe 1.5 days. I only allowed all my friends from all over the world in the time zones to read the poster and to decide if they want to join. So I didn't have much time, and I spent lots of hours yesterday trying to get everything with my wonderful creative director, Denise Dafara, who I would not be able to do it without her. Big shout to Denise Dafara. And I was losing the balance because I spent too much time there doing what I did, and because I was on the screen, I could see more posts of Facebook that I intended and more news that I intended, and that led me very naturally to eat quite a lot of chips at night and some chocolates, and I felt bad. And then I had a talk with my beautiful daughter, Noah, and she said, "Mama, be gentle. This is part of life. Please be gentle with yourself." So I tried. I managed some of it, and I went to bed. And I'm telling you this because finding balance does not mean that you will have the ideal, perfect balance every day. Number 5, come back to yourself. Come back to yourself. Many years ago, I did a rite of passage called the Unveil. It was led by an amazing, wise woman, Anna Davidovich, and it's a process of getting very deep. It was for women only, and I remember the thing which I'll carry for the rest of my life was when I had my rite of passage. I saw Anna sitting in front of me, and with her movement, with her hand movement and gestures, she showed me to go back to myself. Come back to yourself. Come back to yourself. Without words, just the movement. Since then, I find myself many times when I'm losing myself, remembering Anna's gestures, closing my eyes, doing this to myself with my arms, creating circles and bringing myself back to myself, to find this little gem inside that feels like home. And the last tip we shared today was embrace the I don't know. The truth is, we don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know if what we hear is always right or wrong. We don't know how many news are fake news, how many news are minimized news. We don't know. Also, we don't know what the next day is going to bring. We find ourselves more and more in a way of life that we have never known before. So we don't know. For teachers not to know takes vulnerability and humility. We are so used and accustomed to know because we are being asked to give advice, to show the way, to consult, to correct, everything which comes under the umbrella of teaching. Now we actually don't know. There are lots of things which we don't know. And I'm not just referring to technical things. I'm talking to the things that we don't know and we have no idea of knowing. So embracing one step at a time, everyone at her or his own pace, might be a good idea to embrace the I don't know. I just don't know. You can practice by saying, I don't know, or I don't know, or I don't know, in any language. Maybe being in this Zen mind, beginner mind, not knowing, is what opens the door to having new ideas. Dr. Suzuki was known for coming very often and saying, I have a new idea. I have a new idea. And sometimes this idea could contradict a previous idea. But leaving the door, or maybe a gate, open for new ideas is what keeps us in the now and what keeps us in the creative flow. So let me recap. Number 1, say goodbye to perfectionism. Number 2, rest, sleep, meditate. Look after yourself. Self-care. Number 3, don't try to learn everything at once. One step at a time. At your own pace. Number 4, find balance between being informed and being overwhelmed. 5, come back to yourself. Number 6, embrace the I don't know. Again, I'd like to express my gratitude for all of you teachers who came from all over the world. I'd like to extend my love, my gratitude, my appreciation to all of you Suzuki teachers around the world. I'd like to extend my love and gratitude to all of you teachers around the world. And to all of you, all of us, wherever you are. Please stay safe, stay healthy, stay well. Goodbye for now. Much love to you with music and soul. Zohara.